Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Nexus gaming series. My name is Bahamut. We find ourselves here on Volskaya Foundry for game number 1. How is everyone doing in chat? Good to see you, Cat Peach, Kaleo, Trainwreck, Baker Street, Zool, Hero Sharebot. Good to see all of you. But I know you're all wanting to know how we got to Volskaya Foundry. The home team this evening is going to be the members of gillyShark. They won the coin flip, opting for first pick priority for game number 1. Dragonshire and Infernal Shrines were banned out by them. Towers of Doom and Alterac Pass were banned out by the members of Roomba Rotations. And since the members of gillyShark have first pick, that means map pick priority comes out from Roomba Rotations, who have chosen to take us to Volskaya Foundry. Let's get back into our draft and find out what we have here, as an Ana will be banned out by the members of the gillySharks, and Roomba Rotations will be getting rid of that Diablo. Going into Volskaya Foundry, we are going to be having multiple control points where everyone will be brawling out. This is often a place where I would say this is when you Cho'Gall, and it definitely could be a possibility. Cho'Gall actually works fairly well on this map. He works on almost any map where you have to have these come and fight me over a single point. Towers of Doom's a good example. Infernal Shrines is another great example as well. So, with Volskaya Foundry having the same kind of setup but a larger area to fight in, we might be seeing a Cho'Gall maybe pop in. Things like Mephisto have often been a priority. D.Va is now back and available in the NGS series as well, or the NGS series, the NGS League. So you can play D.Va and Gazlo, as they had a rework, and there's a 2-week ban from said players, or from said heroes. There we go. But D.Va could be picked up. She's quite the bully in the solo lane. Overall, in team fights, she seems to be doing fairly well, and her damage output in the pilot form is great as well. Imperius will be the initial grab, as they really want to make sure they lock that in for their solo lane. Slower in the wave clear, but very drastic, not very drastic, very impactful for a lot of these team fights. So one of the things that they're going to be considering right now is the setup and the dive potential of gillyShark on the side of Roomba Rotations. Do they want to play this a little bit more passive and slow and controlling? Do they maybe go into like Stukov and Joanna right here? They lock in a strong healer as well as a strong tank, and they also have tools to force back the enemy. Looks like they're actually going to go for what I was going to note next is going to be one of the other prioritizations is going to be Chromie. Chromie, with her ability to dump a bunch of stand from a distance, has been very helpful, or very impactful, I think is a better way to put it, as she had the Level 1 deep breathing nerfed, but it seems like that still is a little bit of priority. I don't know. Chromie overall is just still a hotness for a lot of these players, and it's a great hero for this map. I was talking about Mephisto being able to kind of jump in and have that burst potential on these control points, and then utilizing that shade of Mephisto so they can go back to their safe zone, if you will. Chromie kind of has that, except for the fact that she's just dumping damage from a distance. I'm way too long on the Chromie stuff because we're already in the bans, but let's talk about ETC Tyrande. That's going to pair well with the Imperius. You're going to have dive potential with Power Slide, Celestial Charge, or vice versa. Lunar Flare from Tyrande will be able to just chain CC. So the members of the gillySharks right now chain CCing single target picks. So that's a reason we saw the Li Ming ban, because reset potential is massive, the single target burst is massive, and the poke potential from Li Ming's great as well. The opposing side needed a little more sustained damage, so they're going to get rid of that Rainer, but there's going to be the Joanna and a Sylvanas grab as well, so this is going to be a lot of push potential. I would expect something like a Joanna maybe, and maybe the healer to jump into the Triglav Protector, and then they'll have the Sylvanas locking down the tower so they can just get extra siege. Kael'thas will be grabbed here for the members of the gillySharks. It's just more chain CC, and it's actually a Malthael. So this is, I'm assuming, a solo lane Malthael with the rotations of Imperius as well. The chain CC out of 4 heroes and the burst potential between ETC, Imperius, Tyrande, Kael'thas is absolutely terrifying. We'll see what happens here. Malthael into D.Va is not something I've seen yet. That's technically range into melee. D.Va's range is very small, so we'll see how that works out. But a Sally Thymane will come in, and she'll be giggle beaming the members of the Roomba Rotations back to health throughout this game. A lot of white main as of late. Not sure really what spurred on her popularity. I don't believe she had any massive changes. Maybe it's just the play style of her overall into the enemy team. We'll have to see. I will say this though, there are things like subjugation, which are massively valuable because you can reduce the damage, I believe, and speed of an enemy hero when you hit them with the Inquisition, and then you can also take other talents that allow you to bounce that Inquisition to another enemy hero. So I believe you can get like the desperation value on 2 heroes. You have them slowed, you have their model size reduced, as well as I believe they just you reduce the damage they deal. It might be increased damage they take as well. I might be misremembering the specific verbiage on that, but we'll see that, and I'm expecting to see it at level 13 either way. This is going to be our draft for game number 1. Very much looking forward to this. How is everyone doing? Imbuement, thank you for the, or Pain Imbuement, thank you for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the content you're seeing. And good to see all of you in chat. Whoa, no, how are you doing, bud? Himibo, good to see you as well. Sorry if I missed anyone in chat. Ektar, how are you doing, my friend? This is looking like a normal shark draft. Yeah, I agree. You're on mobile, but hi, how you doing, Day? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the messages earlier, I appreciate that. You all are ready for some Here's the Storm action, though, so let's get into it. gillyShark on the left-hand side. Stark will be on that Kael'thas. Veggies will be on the ETC. Chess Looter's going to be on the Imperius. We have Kaimo Tripson on that Tyrande and Zergy Monster on the Malthael. I want to point out that is going to be Time Walker's Pursuit. We just saw over them, and you just heard the voice line of Imperius, which is that silence, which is always cute. I don't know, I love it because it's just so out of place. Anyways, the right-hand side, we got the members of Roomba Rotations. Hyvia on the Sylvanas. We've got Iron on the White Mane. Idioms will be on that Joanna, Lazy Hydra on the Chromie, and MJ Doom on the Diva. That's a really great skin. I loved these skins when they came out. Those are just cool. Reminds me of a lot of toys I had when I was a kid, or like the mech paints or the finishes to them. Not sure how to word that one. Either way, power slide in from Veggies, looking for a single target. Won't be able to find anything, and they'll just kind of back off for a second, taking a little bit of damage. This is going to be a block party ETC, so they're going to be applying armor to their friendly members, and this will mitigate some of the damage from Sylvanas as they are auto attack based, and maybe will hinder some of the Diva damage or the sustained damage from Diva in those situations. Either way, they just they don't feel like they need to provide any extra healing with that proc rock from level 1. Once they finish that out, they are able to heal allied members around them. That won't be the case. We'll actually go ahead and just peek into bottom lane really quickly and see what our solo lane matchup is going to be looking like. Currently just have Zergy clearing this out. I'm waiting to see if anyone plays aggressive, if either one of these play aggressive into each other, but right now, just kind of holding and hanging out. Yo, Neo, thank you so much for the 8 months. Thank you for the Prime subscription. We'll resend your alert when we get out of game. As Imperius is looking to invade onto this, Time Walker's Pursuit will provide the vision so the enemy team does know that Chess is hanging out over here. Chromie going to have a Sand Clone over here. Zergy's just going to be stepping in as Sylvanas use the Haunting Wave to get away from the enemy team. Idiom's going to be flanking in, Stark coming in as well. This is a lot of damage that was missing and is now going to be present. If they can get one Chain Bomb here, or one Living Bomb, that'd be massive because there's everyone just so grouped up, but they're going to start to turn this around as Sylvanas has a lot of great damage into them. Haunting Wave through will find a triple kill in favor for the members of Roomba Rotations. Do they make it a quad kill? They get a Diva mech, and oh, the Sentinel goes... I don't think the Sentinel would have done anything for them. I don't think it's going to heal or anything for that. So, unfortunately, the members of the gillyShark will lose 4 members, but fortunately for the members of Roomba Rotations, they're going to pick up a level 4 ahead of time. A little more... just map control for a few seconds. They can actually rotate around, just push out the lanes. And I was kind of expecting them to maybe just jump over here and steal this fortification camp when they had that quad kill, but I think more or less they're just like, yes, we can get that, but the goal for them is maybe just keeping up and utilizing this moment to make rotations and keep that experience gap in their favor. Granted, we're not even seeing a massive experience gap. What is the actual experience deficit for this? So we had basically 4 for 1, we're gonna say, because of the fact that it was a Diva mech plus the Diva. So we're looking at 300 versus 1,658. So a little bit of a disparity right there. But let's see, where are they making that up from? Because that's the thing, is we're not too... The mercenary camps are obviously gonna be a big factor in that one right there. And that's really it, which is surprising. The mercenary camps is kind of just keeping it neck and neck-ish. Minion experience is slightly in their favor, but not by much. Anyways, we can stop talking about just raw numbers and we can talk about our first objective phase that's going to be opening up here in the mid lane. Veggies power sliding in, won't connect onto anyone. Hyvia trying to just back off in the upper portion of this top lane. They're going to be able to do that without being punished, as the members of the gillySharks want to go ahead and clear out this camp in top lane before jumping down into the objective phase 1 to see if they have their own siege camp picked up. Not the case. 7 talent here is slightly ahead in favor for the members of Roomba Rotations, but seems like actually they're gonna go ahead and jump on the siege camp. If they notice the Sentinel coming across the map in that direction, they might take a guess that they're on their own camp, and they'll see the ping for this, but they'll at least get some free channel here. This is actually getting a little close. Okay, no, they burned through this camp a lot faster than when I last peeked at it. I was like, they might not make it over here if they're taking too long, but they had the Kael'thas. It was easy enough. Another Sentinel through to see if the enemy team is on point. Time Trap sitting in that top left corner is going to be Chronic Conditions, which will be movement speed increase to the friendly members time trapped and movement speed decrease to the enemy member's time trapped. The speed equivalent is, at least for the ones who get caught and their friendly members, is going to basically be mount speed. It's 130%, which is your mount speed. Chromie sneaks up into top lane to go ahead and clear things out, which that will mean the gillySharks will take advantage of the moment while they can see one of the other enemy members up in that top lane for a second or two, clearing things out. They know they have the positional advantage, so ETC backs off and will go ahead and tap well. Those are just little things right there. Watching your minimap and seeing that the Chromie's up there means they're like, cool, we can cycle our ETC out. They don't need to be zoning this entire time. But once that Chromie disappears, like they have, now they have to consider how they're going to play this. Celestial Charge going into the backline, going to be through the Johanna as they use the Iron Skin. There's going to be Chromie just dumping out damage that will be slowing Sands. Veggie's trying to work their way out of this mech explosion, and they manage to do so with 300 health. Kael'thas throws down a Flame Strike, trying to force them back. Zergy Monster joining in here, as that will be the fortification camp added in to this mix, and Sylvanas also has the Mercenary Queen from level 4, so that's going to be impacting this turret by 60%. Man, that Mercenary Queen value coming in handy for them in that fight, and that's going to be another pick in favor for the members of Roomba Rotations. And with that, they're going to take a bit more of an experience from that last one. Let's actually go ahead and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like. Before we go through, questing talent-wise, the only big thing to know is going to be Kael'thas is at 15 out of the 20 stacks for the Arcane... for the Mana Addict at level 1, so they'll have their Arcane Barrier when they find 5 more regeneration globes as the Celestial Charge comes out, and I don't know if it was meant for Hiva or if it was just to try and get a little bit of damage on the Triglove Protector, but they're opening up this top lane pretty standard. Rocket Glove into the bush right there, and that was actually kind of a smart call. They caught Kael'thas. It's not going to get a kill, but it just slows them down, dealing out damage, and it seems like they've pushed back this Triglove Protector enough. Malthael going to be rotating into mid lane, and 10 Talontiers coming through soon in favor for the members of our red team. Roomba Rotations gets a little bit more of a jump slam into the front gate. They're going to get that down, but still one tower will survive with 4 seconds left on the Triglove Protector. Chromie exit. The Triglove Protector will naturally just go down, and that'll be that. I wouldn't say... I'd say this is pretty standard for a first Triglove Protector, for the fact that it did just... What's the word I'm looking for? Not disintegrated, but the fact that it ended because of it running out of time, that's the uncommon part. The standard part is pretty much what they got, which was front gate and mid lane, and front gate plus well on top. Condemn gonna pull in a couple. Chest Looter gonna be inside of the Slowing Sands. Blessed Shield, I believe, came out from Johanna right there. Starfall out from Tyrande. They're gonna be healing up a lot of the members. Chest Looter gonna use the Celestial Charge to get out, and Diva stepping onto the point. Doesn't have Mecha Explosion. They're gonna power slide in. They drop the Mosh Pit. Iron Skin used. Lacerates goes out, and they find the kill onto Johanna. No one's able to get the body commander. No, actually, someone was able to pick it up, and it looks like it's gonna go to the red team, and they'll pop that immediately. They end up trading, though, in favor for Roomba Rotations. They lose their Johanna, but they're gonna pick up 2 kills, and they also managed to pick up the fortification camp, which kept them a little, the biotic emitter, which kept them a little healthy during that last engagement. Gonna throw another sentinel through just to see where they're at, and this is just going to be rotations and lane experience. Oh my god, Sirlock, thank you for so much for the raid. You sweet, sweet friend. Please, someone please shout them out. Think you're reaching for duration? Thank you. Yes, duration. Duration actually would have been a good word. I don't know, today my brain's just melted today. There's so much that happened. So I might be a little on the foggy side. Sorry, chat. It's today was a long day. And tomorrow's a long day, and so is Friday. And then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then it's Monday again. 11 to 12 in our levels, 2 to 7 in kills, and we are seeing an ETC soaking in through mid lane. We have the camp and top lane to be cleared out. Solo laner's just going to be matching out, and it looks like we are going to be playing till 13. Our next objective phase should be utilizing the 13 talent tier. We actually... No, I don't think we're going to be finding 16 talents before the next objective phase. We probably have like another minute. Oh, wow, the dive onto Malthael on this bottom lane. That is going to be just an absolute punish in a sense. I mean, they weren't super far out, but it was maybe not a call made in comms from the gillySharks. Either way, they're going to get that pick on a Malthael, which will be the enemy team completely rushing up through top lane, which is a little confusing to me because I was expecting Diva to stay down here and keep split soaking to just offset the experience even further, but they're actually just going to rotate the entire team up here. Maybe they have better camp timings than I do, and I guess if you are going to have your objective phase, this does make sense. Okay, so maybe that was a missed call on my end. ETC is rotating out from bottom lane. They still have the 13 talent here in tow. We do have everyone back and available on the side of the gillySharks as a Celestial Charge I think went out but didn't connect. Sylvanas can use the Haunting Wave, and so far the members of our red team are playing this game number 1 on Volskaya Foundry very well. They're making the rotations they need to make. They're finding single target picks that aren't being communicated. At least they're finding picks when there's rotations not being called. That's a better way to put it. Is this Phoenix coming out from the Kael'thas? Bless Shield goes out from the Johanna. There's the subjugation of the Zergy monster who's going to be reduced in size. And as that ends, they actually find a 3-member mosh pit over here on the right-hand side. They're going to get a double kill and trade out ETC as well. D.Va is going to go down. That pilot form going down. So a 2 for 3. The gillySharks coming out on top of that fight. I believe that's the first fight they've kind of come out on top of. Most of them have either been a trade or a trade to loss against them. In the sense of when they invaded onto this Biotic emitter, they basically traded as a loss. I think they lost 2, they lost the Biotic emitter, and they got 1. I think that was the end all of that one. Either way, objective phase will be started out by the gillySharks. They have this top lane control. Tyrande is sitting over here in the bush. I'm trying to just see here really quickly. Okay, so Chromie's gonna go ahead and use that. I'm curious, do they see? I don't think they saw anyone hanging around over here. Let's see the opposite vision. Just a Kael'thas throwing out a gravity lapse, but it will not, connect. Doomva? That's a good name. Doomva? I actually really like that. That's clever. Another Sentinel down into bottom lane. We do have the Harsh Sentinel? That sounds wrong. Harsh Moonlight from level 13. This was a change that came out in our most recent patch, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been a previous patch. I might be misremembering the patch orders, but Doom is going to come through and they're going to find themselves a Veggies who's going to power slide through. They're going to lose the mecha form, and there's another face melt to knock them away. I think there's a Bless Shield that was ripped that I don't know if it connected on anyone. There's going to be the Scarlet Aegis from the White Mane, and they're going to once again 2 for 2 trade into this. Celestial Charge back into the enemy team. Sandblast into Kaimo Tripson, who just tries to turn around and keep the healing into Chestlitter, who pops the Angelic Armament, and they're going to throw those spears out. They will not connect on anyone, but it is an absolute 2 for 2 trade. Unless, oh no, I might have missed it. I might have misread it. Excuse me. It might have been it was the D.Va mech plus the pilot versus the ETC Malthael. So that was my bad. I misread the death chart on the left-hand side. So not a 2 for 2, a 1 for 2. And this is, as I was saying, there's a lot of these fights that are kind of going that way. Granted, they killed the mech. It's not going to be as much as killing 2 enemy heroes because, well, at least for a while, it was a 3v4. Now that ETC's back and Malthael not too far behind, they grab some camps. They've got some pressure. 16 talents here should be picked up through this wave in top lane. We do have ETC going into Encore at level 13, and we also have our 16 Talonteers through on both sides. But the big thing to note with Encore from level 13 on that ETC is going to be the 7.2 second cooldown reduction on the mosh pit. It was 8%, which was like 9 point something seconds, 9.6 if I'm not mistaken. And that was it was nerfed before it even went live, but it is 6%. You know what? Take it down to 5, take it down to 4, something in there seems more reasonable. Power slide from ETC. They're gonna try and just body block this Johanna, who's just taking so much damage, does go down to the lacerates. Meanwhile, Stark and Kaimo Tripson backed off towards the top portion of this. Hyvia is gonna go down as well, and this is the gillySharks chasing into the enemy team. The Gladiator's Medallion used on the Malthael, if I'm not mistaken. Chromie's gonna get hit with the stun. Power slide from ETC, face melt to just get the kill. Actually, Celestial Charge, or not Celestial Charge, Imperious to find the kill in that one, and they'll jump back onto point. This should be Triglav Protector for the gillySharks. I don't think D.Va and White Mane will really want to step up onto this point. Did I watch Korean Asylum? Yes, I did. It was very good. Thank you for the recommendation, Dorkster. I finished it yesterday. I was hoping that you were in chat yesterday, but I didn't see you. But I was saying it yesterday. Korean Asylum was good. Thank you for the recommendation. It was exactly up my alley. 17 up on both sides, 8 to 12 in levels, in kills, and we will be seeing Triglav Protector rotated into bottom lane. The preparation for this is just for bottom lane. That's really about it. They want to get well out of this, and they want to open up the front gates. They have potential to chase in. If they are able to get the fort, that's massive for them. The Triglav Protector is actually very, very healthy, still above 50% of its health, so they can step in with this. They got 45 seconds. I think the big thing is not having the Kael'thas drop out of this. Time Trap will be on that Triglav Protector for a second. Excuse me as I was putting down my water. Rocket Glove to force them back. And it looks like the gillySharks get what they want in bottom lane, and they're fine with leaving and rotating to mid, maybe to go for the fort so they can get the periodic catapult pressure in that lane. Micro missiles into veggies. Doesn't seem like it did too much into them. That's going to be the fort going down fairly easy. 17 seconds still on the Trickle Protector and 37% of its health. Well, they're going to go for top lane. I think they want to try and open this up as well and even things out so that way they have periodic catapult pressure matching the enemy teams. You're going to take out the sidewall first. You got to take out sidewalls. They do provide enemy vision. No experience. They get the well on top lane. Trickle Protector goes down. D.Va trying to come in here. They do have the Mecha Explosion. Just going to eat some of that damage. Power Slide away. Veggie's being slowed for a second or two. Stark is slowed as well as they're just trying to back off in this upper portion. Throws a Flame Strike down, but the enemy team decides to back off from the chase. They could have chased that a little bit longer, but I think they're just, instead of going for a potential chase that might have been turned on them when they step too far into top lane, they're just going to grab themselves the biotic emitter. Sentinel was scouting that out, and they'll be able to burn through this, fortification camp. They could look to invade on this right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and cycle the other numbers as well, because we're going to be approaching 20s, and I'm sure some of you want to know maybe where the experience swap over is coming from. Camp, though, doesn't look like it's going to be invaded, and we just continue to see rotations. I think gillyShark is going to play for 20. They might have been considering the invade. It's very, very obvious that they would either be on this camp or their right-hand side camp, and I think they saw them rotate through towards bottom, so a little telegraphed right there for the gillySharks, and I think they're same for them. They've shown quite a few members. Sentinel going through top lane. It's going to be the Mercenary Queen right there. You see those impacted. I actually don't know what these are off the top of my head. Assault troopers. Okay. Ankar buff was a mistake. I don't know if it's a mistake. I don't know. It feels weird for sure. Counting heroic ability CDs as a skill and Encore ruins it entirely. Yeah. I feel like I was actually talking about that with someone recently. I feel like I might have actually talked about that on stream, maybe. I don't like that. Feels like such a similar conversation that I've had. Anyways, they take down bottom lane 4 on the side of the gillySharks, and they'll have to hearth back to go deal with the top lane siege coming in. They don't want to accidentally lose a keep. Not really accidentally. They don't want to just give over a keep, and then they have consistent catapult pressure during control point C phase. And this wasn't even really to go for keep on the side of Roomba rotations. They were merely doing a rotation to force them out of the bottom lane, but gillyShark committed to the fort, and they're going to be able to grab that without problem. 20's up on both sides, though. Looking for anything that's out of the ordinary. We do have Death Mosh for the ETC, and that's just something of note. Veggies might purposely position bad just to be able to get a secondary Mosh off, or a third. I don't know, however many Moshes he's going to get off, because Encore value. Encore value.
Access its terminal when I bring it online.
I'm just looking. Sorry, I'm looking through talents really quickly just to see if there's anything else I can note. Guiding light for the white main. Radiating faith for the Joanna. Okay. So control points opening up here could be the final one of the game. A lot of people consider this to be one of the more powerful ones that often do it in games. I feel as of late that we've been going to Trickle Protector 4s, the repeat on control point A. But I don't know. It's there's game-winning options for both teams. They can either go through top lane and end game on the side of Roomba rotations, or gillyShark can just run it down through bottom lane. Power slide through onto one. Celestial charge goes out, but it won't connect. That's going to be quite a bit of damage out, as well as there's going to be a mecha explosion. There's just a starfall as well from the Tyrande. There's ETC who's time trapped. Veggies will go down, but there's the Death Mosh. They're going to get pushed out of it though by the conveyor belt. They will find the kill onto the Sylvanas. Zergy monster on the right side of our screen is going to go down. They don't get any sort of last rites value into the enemy team, as the Iron is going to be just walking out of this. They find the kill into Chromie on the opposing side. Chest Looter looking at Iron right now. If they can find an auto will be enough, and they manage to do so. MJ Doom, the one left alive, being chased by Stark, and Chest Looter boosts away, and Zergy back on the point. No one can stop death. And they're already back here, ready to channel, looking for this Trickle Protector. Looks like Chest Looter's going to push up the bottom lane. They're going to have Kael'thas and Zergy get into it. Looks like Kaimo and Zergy will get into that. And Chess and Stark will push outside of it. Top lane does have a wave coming in, but they might be itching to try and end the game here. 30 seconds on the Chromie, and we've got probably 20 seconds on average for the Joanna and Sylvanas. Actually, way less for the Sylvanas. They've got to go quick on this if they want to. And wow, that Trickle Protector already dealing quite a bit of damage to this keep. Can they end the game, though? That's the big thing. They want to, looking at chess leader's positioning, they want to go step towards core. 2 seconds on the Sylvanas, Chromie up in 10, Joan up in 5, MJ Doom doing as much as they can to dump damage into the Trigla Protector, as that will be the chess leader just stepping into Hiva just to be able to force them back off this core, or off this core defense, and the Trigla Protector with 50% and lowered health will continue to wail away at the core, and that'll be game number 1 over to the gillySharks. GG, well played.
Subscribe.
Evening, Baha, and everyone.
You up for some cake and pie later, buddy?
Thank you, Neo, so much for the 8 months. Thank you, Sir Locke, for the raid. And Moochin, thank you for gifting a sub today. Holy crap. Day, thank you for the 13 months. Wait, are we like 1 sub away? Are we 1 sub away from Falstad stream? All right, let's see. Are we 1 away? Oh my god. No, we're not. We're 4 away. We're very, very close. That's a lobby. Okay, so they wanted this. This is going to be... Why? Who? What? Why? Trainwreck, thank you for gifting a sub. Holy crap. Thank you for gifting a sub to Fire Tiger. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Trainwreck. Just gonna get the map and everything set up, and we should be good to go for our next game. Oh? Oh, what? Oh, because I thought it was 1. Sorry, I juked you. I thought it was just 1. That's my bad. That's my bad. I juked you. Yeah, there you go. We are going to be doing Baja Ross October 18th. That'll be a Sunday. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 Sundays from now. So 27th, 4th, 11th, and then 18th. So on the 18th of October, we're going to be doing Baja Ross again. We will we'll do another paint and attempt to do a good job. But we're going to try and start that a little bit earlier in the day, so that way more people can watch it. Trainwreck, why? Well, congratulations, everyone. We did it. Falstad stream is going to happen. Dear Lord, Trainwreck, I love you. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Face the Duke, Caladoran, and Key. But we did it. Thank you. Oh my god. Sorry, my energy tonight, but thank you, Trainwreck. Holy shit. We did 300 subs. Can we talk about this? Oh my god. Oh my god. John, what? John, thank you for the tier 1 for 2 months. Or excuse me, for 6 months total. Holy crap, thank you. Thank you so much. And you started a hype train. Thank you so much for starting a hype train. Go get your emotes, everybody. Holy crap, thank you so much. Mission accomplished, I know. Now we can update you on the next sub goal, I guess, right? You all want to see the next sub goal? Are you ready for the sub goal? All right, so. Okay, sorry, I was trying to remember exactly how I have this set up. That way I don't break things. So, let's do this. We can do this. All right, this will take me 1 second, really quickly. Crop from top down. Okay, all right. Baja Ross is the next sub goal for the halfway mark. But you're sitting there at home and saying, what would be the next sub goal, Bahamut? Well, it's 400, but it's a full Deckard Cain cosplay stream. And when I say full Deckard Cain, I mean full big beard, full, like, scarring and everything on the face. I have a friend who does FX makeup, and I showed her a picture of Deckard Cain. She's like, I can do that 100%. Bandit treat for Bandit. Yes. Big cookie for Bandit. Also, we did adjust a lot of the prices today. So all the prices are cheaper except for the little treats. So, yay, we did it. So Falstead stream, I'll schedule that as soon as I can. Here's your little cookie, mister. You good boy. Let's get them the big cookie. Thank you, Trainwreck, for the big cookie. And thank you, John, for the little cookie. He's like, wait, there's more? There's more! Yes! Can I get a little... You. Alright, Kane... Yeah, Kane's play, exactly. So if we hit 400 subs, we'll do Decker Kane cosplay. Are you gonna dye your beard for the I won't dye it, but I will get it white. Like, I'll figure out a way to get it to be white. I could always just dump baby powder into it. That's what I've always heard is what makes hair and stuff white. So thank you so much. We did it. We hit 300 ding ding subs. Holy crap. Thank you so much. I love you all so very much for helping me hit that goal. As I said, next one is the November Baja Ross, because we already have October scheduled. Deckard Cain, that's the one after that. Majesty, remind me after the draft to do the Bandit treat, because we need to get into draft, because it has been a wee bit since this has started out. And so let's get back into it. Thank you all for joining me. We are here on Cursed Hollow for game number 2 of our first of 2 best of 3s this evening. If you're sitting at home celebrating with some Bandit treats that he'll get in a minute, but wondering how we got to Cursed Hollow, let me get you caught up on all of that. The home team this evening was gillyShark. They won the coin flip. They opted for first pick for game number 1, banning out Dragon Shire and Infernal Shrines. Towers of Doom and Alterac Pass were banned out by the members of Roomba Rotations, and they chose to take us to Volskaya Foundry for game number 1. They lost that map, and as the losing team, they can either choose first pick or map pick. They opted for first pick for game number 2, meaning that the map pick, they chose first pick for game number 2, and that means that map pick priority goes to the side of the gillySharks. And with that, they have chosen to take us to Cursed Hollow with a Abathur pick on the right-hand side, a TLV ban from the gillySharks, and a Samuro ban on the right-hand side as well. Yay, we did it. Thank you, Kaleo. Thank you. I hope my energy is not just low and sad during that, but thank you all once again for kicking off that hype train. I very much appreciate it. So, Trainwreck, Tyrande and Imperius on the left-hand side, Abathur on the right, Karazim as well. This is full dive, isn't it? Are they going Greymane here? No, Urel. Okay. Diva's still up and available if they wanted to grab it on the left-hand side, but I don't think that gillyShark will go for it. I don't think that they're going to look for the Diva on the side of Roomba Rotations, so I don't think it's worth the ban. Realistically, something like a Jaina is actually a really big target for Abathur cloning because of the fact that her cone of or her trait applies from the clone target as well. So there's a lot of great opportunities to be able to get a decent amount of damage and burst potential from said clone as they get rid of the Tassadar, who's also probably a really good clone target as well. Key getting hit with the gift sub. Thank you so much, Trainwreck. Just managing to slap your friend with a free sub. Ban-wise, though, for the gillySharks, they could actually look to ban the ETC on the right-hand side. I would actually say choke out that ETC from the last game. That was quite a nuisance of a hero to play against, but they're actually going to get rid of the Malthael. They don't want to deal with On a Pale Horse, which I believe is 150% movement speed. It's a 20% buff to your movement speed, so moving around the map that quickly is a bit of a nuisance, or at least something that people really don't want to go up against, as that will be a Raynor grabbed on the left-hand side, so good sustained damage coming out from them. And then there's the ETC, as I was talking about beforehand. Tyrande, Imperius, Raynor. Oh, we got Choo Choo emotes. I'm sorry, I got ADD today, chat. I got real bad ADD. There we go, Choo Choo. Okay, last 2 picks coming out. I still like the idea of the Jaina. They could go Greymane, but they still need a main tank. It's actually going to be Deathwing. I think they Jaina. Really? Wow. That's a lot of auto attack damage. But they really don't have much to mitigate it per se. They don't have any blinds. They could go Cassia here, but I feel like they don't want that. That's just auto attacks into auto attacks. They need some sort of burst. They need some sort of damage into the Deathwing as well. I want to say Tychus, but I hate saying Tychus. I don't think it's Tychus. I think they go Mage here. I think they honestly go like Jaina. Jaina would be great here. Oh, it's gonna be Greymane. They want Cursed Bullet. Okay. I wasn't considering that. I was so dead set on a mage, but Greymane still fills a lot of the roles that the mage would still pick up. Burst potential, camp clear, wave clear. So I think the Greymane's great here. It also gives you an opportunity to go for the throat maybe on Tracer and Kerosene. Running it down BRB. Oh boy, we'll see. Okay. Hello Bahamut, how are you feeling? I'm assuming feeling. I'm okay. It's been a long day. A little tired. A little drained. Reminder, bandit pets. Yes, thank you. Thank you. They were pets, right? Did I have a treat or pets? No, it was bandit pets. You're right. But this is perfect. Thank you, Majesty, for redeeming the bandit bucks for the bandit pets. Let's go ahead and get on into game number 2. On the left-hand side, we got the members of the gillySharks up 1 in our best of 3 series. Chymotrypsin on the Tyrande, Stark on the Greymane, Zergy Monster will be on that Rainer, Chest Looter on the Imperious, and Veggies on the ETC. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Roomba Rotations. They're going to take us to, they're going to try and take us to a game number 3. Lazy Hydra on the Abathur. Iron is going to be on that Kerosene. MJ Doom on the Urel. Havia on the Tracer. And Idioms on the Deathwing. Whew. We got everything. How you doing, War? They're gonna rush through bottom lane real quickly with this Greymane. The juice is loose. No, there's no way they juice pirates this. I like, part of me kind of was hoping, but apparently no juice in this game. At least for now, I don't know. No, I mean, like, there's no Tyrael or anything like that. Abathur are gonna get hit with the Sentinel, and they need to make sure they don't get hit with a second one. They're actually gonna have to tap well. The Sentinel did like half their health, so actually, if they found another Sentinel, they would have actually gotten the kill. But it's just cooldown reduction and stuff like that and such. So a little wild right there. Is they're gonna throw another one? I think they do have Vision of Abathur though. Let's see. This is Chymotrypsin's Vision, so they know that they're right there. Unfortunately, the cooldown of the Sentinel might be a little too much. What is that? I actually don't know off the top of my head. 15 seconds, so they could try and just take a guess and throw it into the corner, but yeah, they've already moved into mid lane, and there's actually the throw to see if they're down there. We're focusing a lot on this, but it's just interesting mechanics with the Sentinel and the Abathur. Speaking of interesting mechanics, Iron is going to make a very aggressive rotation onto this side of the map, and that was very risky, and they're going to get punished way hard by that, and that's going to be first blood over to the gillySharks. Now, this Urel trying to help out might have overstepped as well. They do have the Abathur hat, but it is just a level 1 Abathur hat, which has got some extra spike burst power slide coming through those pressurized glands from level 1, doing their as much as they can for the Urel from Abathur, but it's not like they have any healing off of that, as Deathwing will cook the top lane, try and burn through the wave, opening things up for the Siege Giant potential poke. Moving on back down to bottom lane, we see Zergy Monster and Hiva down there, doing their best just to hold the lane. I don't think either one's really stepping too hard into each other. They're just making sure they're soaking. This Tracer might be a bit more of a busy bee during the objective phase, trying to get back into the backline. Until then, it seems like they're just playing this kind of safe. Where's that Sentinel going? Oh, maybe it was just for the mid lane Abathur, potentially. The juice is loose, yeah. Wait, is it cheer or Pepe hands? Which one is it? Clumsy. How you doing, bud? Chest Looter and Idiom still just going in this top lane up against each other. Siege Giants are being stepped up into this front gate. Chest does have some decent damage into the Deathwing, and this Deathwing needs to be careful of just the Imperious overall, just not bursting, but just finding sustained damage into them, because Imperious is a little bit of a difficult hero to deal with sometimes, especially with just press. Oh wait, no press forward at level 4. They're actually going to go into Battle Hunger. I was expecting the armor from the press forward at level 4 from the regeneration globe, so you just get sustained 10 armor. Righteous Hammer to knock them back. They're going to chase onto Chymotrypsin with the Abathur hat as well. We're going to have Iron just diving in. Speaking of diving, that's Veggies just trying to get out of here, as Idioms will be using the Onslaught, trying to get a pick onto them, but Chymotrypsin's able to tap well as Stark. Objective phase was up and gone, as I believe Zergy was able to channel that. I'm 100% unsure of where it was. because I just didn't even see it on the minimap, but I'm assuming that Zergy Monster was able to just split off and grab that real quick, or I'm just completely blind and just didn't even see it happen in front of me. Either way, MJ Doom just going to be pushing out the top lane. Abathur going to be coming up here to body soak. Now, Chess I don't think sees this, but they will see the Abathur Locust. So they'll see this Locust, you can see how healthy it is, and that should be an indication that Abathur's nearby. So Chess is going to go ahead and jump over into the bush, but the Abathur was able to back off. And that's like, I talk about this a lot, but that is a key moment. Like, Chess saw that there was the Locust with a high timer bar, that little purple bar, meaning that it was spawned recently. So they were like, they could be in the bush. We're going into a bottom lane objective phase. This is what Abathur typically does in these moments. Iron going to get the channel. Veggie's not able to power slide in. The rotation from mid and top down into bottom was a little slow, and I don't know, maybe they were just looking to delay and they're just fine with giving this over. Either way, Chess Looter gonna just clear things out on their rotation back to top. Meanwhile, Zergy just doing Zergy things in bottom lane and just pushing up as Raynor. Karazim gonna come down here, and Zergy gonna actually get the, you can see the communication from the friendly team is gonna be clear to them as they immediately start to back off as ETC lost vision of the enemy team in mid lane. Stark and Kamo trips in to grab the camp on the left-hand side. We have Lazy Hydra still just behind some of the structures, hatting up some of the minions to be able to soak a little bit more for them. They also went into the Mule at level 7, which allows them to heal up these structures. It's like 90 something for 45, excuse me, for 40 seconds. And then, so basically, you realistically, if it doesn't go down, you have a 20-second cooldown. So you have 20 seconds where it's actually not healing anything, which is a great talent for them. But Zergy Monster will not get picked off by the dive potential of Iron with the hat. This does mean that they're going to have to make a long rotation over to this objective, and that will be a little telegraphed. So the gillySharks are going to try and press up this top lane. Deathwing going to land over here. That's going to be a Lunar Flare to the far side. Might have been for the actual Mule, just to clear that out so it wasn't going to be able to heal anything else up. Veggie's going to be anchoring around the objective phase, or at least around the outside of it. Yrel with the Righteous Hammer is going to get hit with the Celestial Charge, which will cancel out the Hammer charge. Kaimo going for the channel, will not be able to do it. Doom trying to step in here. Cataclysm out from the Deathwing into basically the front line of this, kind of back line. It's a very, very split fight as Stark is just up in the top lane by themselves. Chess Looter stepping into this enemy team will use the Gladiator's Medallion. That's going to be a face melt from Veggie, saving the hide of that Imperious, but now Greymane is going to be caught out. Unfortunately, Veggies has no face melt for them, and this is going to be, with 10 talent tier, them going down and losing the third objective phase of the game. During this time, the Siege Giants were able to push up onto the fort, and they're going to get some initial siege into this. It should go down to about half health, maybe even it's still going to be actually a lot more healthy, and then Mule's going to come down as well, so it might actually just mitigate all of the damage that was just dealt. Heals up, it honest to God heals up a lot quicker than the tooltip reads, or at least that's the way I look at it. Let's actually pull back up the other numbers to get an idea of what those look like, because we can see our 10 talent tiers across the top. ETC holding, but I can only assume it's actually Stage Dive. Okay, Stage Dive ETC coming through. I think Abba moved before the Locust spawn, not sure. Yeah, I did change the vision really quickly, so I was like, oh, this could be one of those moments. Tracer gonna find a pick onto Zergy into bottom lane, and that'll be another kill in favor for the members of Roomba rotations as they even that up, and they also find their 10 talent tiers as well. Tracer gonna be going into a different pulse bomb pickup, which I don't off the top of my head know. I think it's damage. It's like damage and diameter for the red one. I might be wrong on that. I might be completely wrong. We'll see in a little bit. Boss is actually going to be invaded. They can't go for this, or at least they don't want to, apparently, because Raynor's dead. And so they'll go ahead and say, like, cool, let's just rip Boss for top lane. Easy enough. They throw the Sentinel down. Iron's actually going to get stalled out by that. And it's going to be a wee bit too late, as that will be boss grabbed. Abathur going to be getting right out of top lane. ETC stage diving towards the bottom. They will get cursed. They have a boss going up against the enemy team in top lane, so that'll at least offset the pressure in said lane. Tracer and Karazim have some damage onto Veggies. They're going to dive over the wall since there's no tower. Shots coming out. 7-sided strike. That's Gladiator's Medallion used. Power slide to get them out of there. No stage dive for the next 54 seconds. And they don't get the kill, but they will get the fort for bottom lane. Mid lane to be cleared out, and top lane will have a counter fort going down in favor for the gillySharks. But overall, where they're going to be trading out forts for now. Objective phase still going to be up for the next 37 seconds.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
I sense some animosity for Mule. What do you mean? Never, 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 never. I would never, never. Oh, quicker charge and range. Thank you. I was curious. I was confused as to what you were telling me. Thank you so much, Wono. Increase pulse bomb range and charge rate from basic. Because there's one that's like diameter and damage or diameter and slow, and one of them is. Yeah, it's Tracer. I can't remember those off the top of my head ever. So Boston top lane was cleared out. They're actually going to go ahead and grab theirs in bottom, or at least attempt to do so. Kharazim coming over here. Hyva coming over as well. Deathwing did go up in the sky. They're going to take a couple seconds, but that will be Hyperion coming through. Lazy Hydra not able to get there with the clone Tracer. The Starfall out from the Tyrande as well as dealing quite a bit of damage, keeping a lot of the members up. That's a stage dive from ETC. There was the Errant Defender used. Hyva so very low. Raynor does go down. They're going to trade out into the Kharazim. They're going to go for the throat a second time and find a kill into Tracer. That's what we were talking about in the draft. Power slide from the ETC. Celestial Charge onto Doom, and they're going to lose 4 members and the boss for bottom lane. The members of gillyShark get a free bottom lane fort for sure. Chest Looter going to push up onto this, make sure that Mule is immediately taken out. Don't want them to be regaining health while the boss is slapping away. Abath are doing their best to, well, hat soak from core because stepping out too far right now might be a little worrisome. So they're just going to power slide around. Encore was picked up at level 13 by Veggies as well. So they're going to have the stage dive cooldown reduction. 14 to 13 in our levels. Tracer and Kharazim back into bottom. Everyone back on the enemy team as boss is stepping in through said lane. One curse point in their favor on the side of the gillyShark. Cataclysm coming out from the Deathwing into the backline. That's going to be a Celestial Charge. Tracer recalls just in time so they don't get hit with the Lunar Flare, and now the members of gillyShark need to back off. The boss still sieging in through the top lane. Deathwing is going to just charge right onto them with the Onslaught and finds the kill onto Chest Looter. Veggie's going to go ahead and stage dive into the backline. 7-sided strike coming out as well as some ragdolling effect happened right there. Veggie's going to get another face melt, and this is also going to knock them back once again. The cooldown on the stage dive is, what, 80 seconds if I'm not mistaken? 75, and it's already at 45 seconds. They've nixed, I want to say they got 3 hits with that, so they basically took off 21.6 seconds of stage dive time. Like, that's just wild. I believe they hit 3 people total. I might be miscounting, but still, just absolutely wild for them on the side of the gillySharks as or on the side of the gillyShark as they will go. They should be able to grab this without There will be contest over this. I was misreading the deaths, and there actually is going to be Abathur clone up and available, but they're not going to step in. Okay, Death drop from, not Death drop, excuse me, the Skyfall from Deathwing is going to be the nuisance right now. Is the objective phase is visible. It's got like perma visibility, so they can see who's on it right now, and that allows Deathwing to be able to use that. Now they're going to use their, I believe that actually is, they did go into Death Drop as well. No, Ruination. Either way, they will be looking for this fight as that's a Celestial Charge onto 1. There's going to be the Hyperion onto quite a few. Stage Dive came out from the ETC. Greymane ends up going down early to the Tracer as Kaimo's trying to back off right now. They find the kill into the Tyrande. Veggie's getting low. They dive into them with the punches from Kharazim, and they come back with 3 kills of their own. And Abath are going to push out the top lane. We do have a hat soak for bottom, and they should be able to get the channel right there, and a camp for mid lane as well. Radius and slow, 6% damage, and range and charge. Thank you. Teeny tiny Deathwing is funny, I know. Reduced model size Deathwing is always fun to look at. Like a Subjugated or a Pacify or a, what is it, Harsh Moonlight? Yeah, Harsh Moonlight is what's actually doing that right there from the Tyrande. Iron going to be hearthing back, just going to get full health and mana. Next objective phase will be in the top portion of the map. No curse, but it would be curse advantage for the players that are able to get this. We also do have Siege Giants pushing up into top lane. 16s across the board on both sides, and... is that Dash and Cleanse? Yeah, or Cleansing Touch. See what happens here. Even Talontiers, everybody up. Tracer walking in from mid lane. 4 people going for the channel because you can't hit them all, can you? Well, you can actually rotate through all of it. Deathwing going to drop down on top of them as power slide from ETC, and they punish the Kharazim who's trying to get into the backline. Hyperion out from the Raynor, as that's going to be a reduced size Doom who's just being chased by Greymane currently. Stage dive from the ETC will come out. Cataclysm backwards from the Deathwing, who's going to take a longer rotation. Will this be enough for the members of gillyShark to find the kill? They won't find the Sentinel. They do go for the channel. ETC over here on the right-hand side trying to slow down Deathwing and apply some damage, but now with the kill on Kharazim, Kharazim, they turn back and say, let's boss and grab some extra pressure for top lane, mid lane being pushed in by the Abathur, and bottom lane actually physically being pushed by Abathur as well. The question I have is, does Abathur showing on minimap? They can see this. This is the vision of chess looters. So, do you have stage dive? Oh, no stage dive for 42. I was kind of hoping that we get a stage dive ETC on top of Abathur's head. That would have been so good just to see Abathur just get clocked by a stage dive. Mid lane fort will go down. They managed to get the boss in that trade. They have a slight advantage because the enemy team will have to clear this out in top lane, but this is also going to be a friendly, this will be an objective phase that's more on the friendly side for the Roomba rotations, but it's 7-7 in levels, 17-17 in our 7-7 in kills, 17-17 in our levels. Let's cycle through the other numbers once again. Deathwing dropping down on top of this. It's another Sentinel coming out from bottom lane. They could make a guess that they're on this boss, but it won't be quick enough as they see that already spawning and coming through. Next objective phase will be announced here, 30 seconds away. Chess Looter clearing out bottom lane, and this is some nice off-lane pressure during this objective phase. They can either respond to this, let it push in through bottom lane, or they can fight over the objective phase. There's a couple directions they can go in this with this one, and we'll have to see what the members of Roomba rotations go for. Right now, gillyShark's looking fairly comfortable on this map. A little shakiness in the beginning. They had a couple picks against them, but seems like they're now starting to turn things around in their favor. Veggie's going to just face melt Doom away as they were also trying to jump away, get a little bit more cooldown on that stage dive, and it is up and available. They're going to, I think, go for the... Oh, wait, Sentinel pierces through, and that will be the delay out. Okay, I was waiting to see, did we get like some sort of stage dive ETC play? No, they're gonna get the curse in their favor. They go for the throat. No, excuse me. They just jump in with the gray main. They're just autoing into Idiom, who's gonna be a small little Deathwing. Okay, it will be. They go back to their full size. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Urel trying to clear things out. The keep is being held up by the mule. Mostly held up. It's being healed up, but it's also being held up by the mule. Ooh, do they get this keep with the boss? No, they don't. It's going to be on a bit of health right there. It's going to be just above 3,000. The Abathur hat coming in as well, and they'll have a couple more ticks of healing from said mule. ETC will be hanging out in top lane as they are going to be that stage dive ETC, and they have it off cooldown, so they can just soak the off lane, try and get that 20. And they're actually... Okay, this is weird. gillyShark, you're not going to go for the objective? Unless you're banking on ETC stage diving in and delaying this out quite a bit. It's just risky. Because you're giving positional advantage to the enemy team right now, and you have to make the awkward rotation back in. Are they just giving this? Are they just going for camps instead? Sentinel onto 2, stage dive coming out from ETC. Iron gonna dive to one friendly team. Deathwing drops down on top of the ETC. Face melt is gonna be out from them as well. Celestial charge went onto 1, I do believe. No one gonna be falling down just yet. Not Skyfall. We have the Starfall out from the Tyrande. We also have the Hyperion from Raynor. Cataclysm out from Deathwing onto Kaimo Tripson. Chaser chasing in. That's the Lazy Hydra clone. A lot of damage onto Zergy. He's trying to back out of here. Do they have a penetrating round? Not enough. Greymane goes for the throat and finds the Abathur clone. But they're not able to go for the throat again as it is on full cooldown, and I think this is going to be objective going over to the enemy team, and this will be curse against them on the side of gillyShark. They throw out a Sentinel. Wow, the burst... I mean, just a raw burst literally onto the Deathwing as you see the things coming out. Veggies does have that stage dive, but doesn't go for it. So they are going to be cursed on the side of gillyShark. Second curse against them in this game. Top lane pressure in their favor, and so is mid lane. So the lanes are quite far out in their favor during an objective phase. So I think this is going to be 55 seconds that the waves going to get pushed into them, but they're not really going to lose out too much here. I say that as Deathwing drops down on top of them. They just want to take the fight. Gladiator's Medallion used on Veggie's power, face melting Doom back into the friendly team as the ETC drops the Death Mosh, but this is still going to be Kharazim with enough damage for that kill, and that's going to offset a death while we have our Raynor coming back here in just a second. Meanwhile, Tracer stepping in here. That's Deathwing with another onslaught, excuse me. God dang it, just the tiny Deathwings are so good, but the Incinerate, there we go. Bottom lane keep goes down, and are the gillySharks about to lose game number 2? Do we head to a game number 3 on Cursed Hollow? That's a lot of damage onto the Tracer clone that does go down. Iron gonna try and dash to one of the friendly members. Core is being besieged. The curse phase will be ending in just a second here, so that means that keeps are gonna start firing if anyone gets under range of them. We do have Iron taking a bit of damage. Greymane looking to maybe go for that throat. I think they just utilized it, but they didn't find the kill onto this Urel, who's trying to back out. Gladiator's Medallion used. The Deathwing will go down, and gillyShark stave off the core rush from the enemy team. Angelic Armament used. They don't find anything with it, and then just throw it off into the bush as Kerosene dives away. Bottom lane has a has a catapult onto the core, but they have a wave spawning, so it's not that big of a deal. They're pushing out the top lane. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. So small, so little. Yes. So fierce, so awesome. Yes. You know, just ETC doing ETC things. Ooh. Okay, Toronto's got healing for them, but I was just like, wow, that was a lot of like perma-stun onto them, and if anyone jumps in, they could have found a burst on the ETC. Speaking of burst, Lazy Hydra clones the Urel. They're gonna look for the Righteous Hammer. That's gonna be Face Melt. They're gonna jump onto this Power Slide in 7-sided strike. Everything being used here as just... I can't believe that. I don't even, like, it's just everybody on the point. Razor Swipes coming out. They managed to Righteous Hammer them off. The boss will be stolen away, but they're gonna lose almost everybody just for this. There's a Power Slide onto this Tracer who blinks away. They're not gonna be able to find the kill. They're not gonna be able to find the Celestial Charge either. And what does gillyShark do here? Their main sources of damage are gone, and they got pressure into bottom and top. They have to back off and clear things out. No game end coming out for them in our near 20-minute Cursed Hollow game. An absolute nail-biter of a game number 2 in our first best of 3 of the evening tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is an awesome game. This is such a good game. So, this will be pushed in through bottom lane. They need to have someone has to come to this, like, immediately. Looks like ETC will be Hearthing. And I believe they actually had the vision of that as well. Oh, no! ETC will not be Hearthing! Oh, that's rough right there. Rainer's back up, but they're gonna take, I think they might take a wee bit of cord. Oh no, the catapults weren't fully hitting it. So yeah, Rainer gets a penetrating round, maybe knocks them back. It should refocus their efforts onto Rainer, and then they can actually save this without losing. Wow, I was actually expecting gillyShark to lose a lot more there because of the ETC getting caught out by that root from the boss, but they clear out the boss, they get the camp for some offset pressure into top. They do not have any sort of curse potential in their favor, and Chess Leader using the using the Celestial Charge to get through the far side of that wall into mid lane a little bit faster. Clear to come out into the camp. That minion, though, for real. It was actually 2 for 2. I thought it was gonna be much worse for Roomba robots. I thought it was gonna be worse for both teams, honest to God. Oh my God, there's a clip of me just raw ripping a stage dive and stealing a boss, and I just thought of it right here because, well, Veggies has stage dive and they're about to plop it in right there. They jump onto the point. Idiom's gonna jump in here. That's going to be a go for the throat. They're being knocked around. Absorption to be used by Urel. They're gonna try and steal the boss away the same way they did it beforehand with the Righteous Hammer, but it's not working out just yet as they're gonna dive on top of so many members. This is going to be the Kerosene going down. Iron just trying to punch their way through. Rainer will go down to the Tracer who does recall, but they lose their Urel, and this is boss and bottom lane. Curse potential in favor for the gillySharks in 30 seconds. What do they do with this? This is, I think, where a lot of teams are unsure of what to do. They lost their Rainer. They don't have any sort of end game potential. So I think realistically, you push the waves out, you get objective phase, and you try and end game with the mass amount of waves that you have already stacked up from the pre-push you've done here. I actually think that's the exact direction they should be heading with this. Stark gonna hang out with Kaimo Tripson to make sure that no one dives onto them. Sentinel gonna be coming out through bottom lane. Double Tracer to be used, so that looks like the Abathur clone will be used to clear out the boss a little bit quicker. Also Power Slide, some harassment coming out from Veggies onto Hyvia, and this boss will start to step onto this keep, and it also will be a keep with no defensive mechanics, so there's no shots coming out, so this boss is going to take no damage whatsoever. Greymane dives out, Power Slide, that's going to be a combo from the gillySharks, and they find a single target pick onto Tracer, stepping immediately to core. Can the Deathwing defend against this? They do also have this core defense with these armor-reducing circles. Veggies is a little bit low, they have to Power Slide away, that's going to be the Cataclysm out from Idioms as well. Iron doing their best to dive out, that's a 7-sided strike onto so many members. Veggies so very low, they end up getting the pick, but that's a mosh pit, a death mosh from the ETC, and the core's falling too rapidly. The death mosh might have bought enough time for them to be able to burn through this, and the gillySharks, with a nail-biter of a game number 2, will be able to take the series in a 2-0 fashion. GG, well played. Who would win, 8 attacks per second or a bayonetti boy? Stabby Daddy. Stabby Daddy. Didn't need objective to win. Should have ripped core. I think it was, yeah, that was, see, Nara, that's where I sit, because I was like, I think the objective call was good because it actually sustained the boss a little bit longer. So that's my only counter argument to that is I think that it might have been a 5% core if that curse wasn't there, because the keep would have been dealing damage to the boss, and it allowed them to also dive underneath the keep a little bit more aggressively too. So I don't think it was 100% necessary, but it definitely was like this is how I think this is our game win. Oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? This is our win condition, I think is what it is. Go get a drink. Okay, I can go get something to drink. Rock Dog, thank you for the follow. Let's go ahead and see what the gillySharks want to do a interview with one of the winning players from the winning team. Where's Kylo Tripson? Does one player want to do interview? Question mark. I'm jumping NGS. Oh, is it veggies already? Pushing us forward would have had to keep down fast. That is true. That is true, Delta Sniper. You're not wrong on that. Or on keep would have sustained the boss too. You're right. You are right. I wasn't thinking of that part. I wasn't thinking of that part. All right. Well, at this time, we are going to be joined by Veggies. Congratulations on your 2-0 victory. How you feeling there, bud?
Thanks, Baha. I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. So let's talk about these games because game number 1, you had some wonderful back and forths. Did it feel like there was any point where it was just like, this is the turning point, this is how we end the game, or was it just kind of playing play by play?
So I definitely think there was a turning point, and that was when we realized that the slowing sands out Chromie was just too much for us, especially combined with D.Va just booping us back in the slows. And it was just too hard for us to fight on specific points. So we had to make the adjustment where we kind of just kept dragging back or get to objective first and just move the fight around. And that was really the big difference, because all during the early game, they kind of beat us up.
Mm-hmm.
I think we only got like one good fight in before level 13, and the rest were either trades or they came out ahead. But after that, we won pretty solidly.
Yeah, no, because that was something that I noticed in the early game as well, is that you guys were trading, but you were on the losing end of those trades. It would typically be like 2 for the D.Va mech plus the pilot. Like there's actually one of those fights where I think it was like Malthiel ETC for the D.Va mech plus pilot. I was like, oh, 2 for 2, and I was like, oh wait, no, literally they didn't. So yeah, there was a lot of those situations, I feel, and because I was very curious. I was like, how do they address this moment? Because there's so many early game situations where the Chromie was just beating you up, literally just dumping sand, and then it was like right around control point B, you started to get this momentum, you got a couple picks, and then control point C really started to pop off for all of you. Moving into game number 2, you take this mentality forward with this win, you're going to Cursed Hollow, and then they start to pick you off a little bit here and there in the early game. Was it the kind of the same thing? Was it like we're playing for 10s, we're playing around the stage dive, or was it just, once again, play by plays and just adjusting as the game went along?
So the stage dive specifically was mostly because we looked at their team,
okay.
We looked at Mosh, and we decided, well, when are we ever getting value out of Mosh?
Mm-hmm. There was like I think there was one moment in that game where you had a power slide where I was like, that's a good Mosh moment, but like the stage dives outpowered the amount of Moshes you would have had. I agree with you 100% there.
But in general, I think they did a really good job. I think the key turning point for that game was mostly just we fought on bosses and we traded off on bosses, but every time we came out either even or ahead in terms of both the macro side and just number of bodies on the field. And I think you saw during like curses and stuff, we just did more with our bodies on the field. Like we only got the last curse, and the only boss that mattered, like they saved their boss in the second to last fight, and that was great. And then we got our boss and we traded a bunch, and it was fine. We won the game with that, like because they had to go all in. You saw at the end they cloned the Tracer just to try and get enough siege damage on boss, because their comp really has no answer to a boss pushing down lane unless everyone on their team is up.
realized I was muted the entire time. You heard me, but regardless, very good plays from the entire team all around. I was trying to fix the audio as I was getting a little bit of a double up on you, and I didn't notice immediately. But either way, really, really good games. Great back and forths overall. As I said, the Urel boss plays were really, really fun to watch, but you all just shutting down that boss play in bottom lane to end the game. I wanted to ask you one quick question. What were comms like at the end? Because chat was saying that they didn't think you needed the curse to end a game, and they were saying that if you pushed us 4, you would have been able to sustain the boss on the keep, because I was arguing, I was like, well, they got cursed because it sustained the boss on the keep a little bit better, and also your death mosh was godly to basically keep them from clearing faster. Do you feel like you needed to have the curse, or you could have ended it with 4?
It was a split decision. I thought we should have pushed as 4 and just moved with boss. Made the call to go for curse, and so that's what we ended up doing. As soon as I saw they had used the clone already on Tracer, I called most of the team back. I said, just come as quickly as you can. Like, we only need 1 on curse now. And so that, I think, helped. But, I mean, that was actually just a split decision. And honestly, had we, had it not been so time sensitive and we had gone for curse, obviously, I should have been the one to go because I have the global.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was basically I wanted to do one thing, he wanted to do another thing. And so we just ended up doing that.
I mean, it worked out for you in the end. So it was very, very well played overall. Thank you so much for the interview. Before I let you run out of here, are there any shouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours, my friend.
Sure. As always, shout out to you for casting. Shout outs to Gilly. As you were saying earlier, shout outs to MJ Doom and Lazy Hydra, where they had Urel and clone Urel, and they managed to salvage the boss. I really thought the Encore second boop would get him off.
Same!
And yeah, no, they still managed to time it well enough, and they got it through. So, I mean, kudos to them. If they were going to win, it was because they pulled the same thing off on bot. So, shout outs to Spoons.
I hate you.
I was just told to relay the message. I would have no idea the context. You'll have to fill me in another time. But that's it for me. Good games. I had a lot of fun. I hope to watch the cast layer and be amused by your observations and wit. And, thanks to your audience for watching us.
Well, thank you so much for the interview, Veggies. You have a wonderful night, and I look forward to seeing you all in Season 10 of NGS. Congratulations once again on your 2